We're on an adventure to find a SIM card, a local SIM card. Looks like there's market stalls setting up here. Maybe see that over the next 2 days. I better take care of filming here. I learned my lesson in Sarajevo. We're going to walk through central Belgrade and we're going to make our way over to the Museum of Yugoslavia. Now ordinarily that would be about, I think is about 15-20 minute drive, and we're actually going to walk there. Google Maps says we need to be on the other side of this sort of highway, motorway area, down into the depths of mystery as we... This is exciting, guys. Tell me you don't enjoy this sort of stuff. You know, there's a bit of an excitement to not knowing where the hell you're going. What a nice park. Getting very chill vibes here. Very peaceful. There goes one of the free buses on the fantastic transit system here in Belgrade. Blocks and blocks of tall concrete residential tower blocks, and they're literally called block 44, block 77. They've got numbers. So we're on an adventure to find a SIM card, a local SIM card where I can get some data on my phone, because my provider does not cover Serbia. So the guy at the hotel recommended A1, so let's see how we get on. A1. Nice big open square. I found it. A1. That's where we're going to get our SIM card, and hopefully we can get some data and we'll be able to get a better idea of where we're going. Hopefully they're open. Right, I'm gonna go in there and see what they're offering, so catch up with you soon. So we got our SIM card, A1, cost 500 dinars, and that's probably, well, it's 140 dinar to a pound just now, and I think it's about 160 to a euro. So yeah, we can work it out that way, but not as much as I was expecting, to be honest. Very affordable, very reasonable, and that gives me 200 gigabytes for 3 days, and that'll be enough to cover my trip here in Belgrade. So yeah, not too bad. And now that we're connected, we're online, let's go and check the city out. Wind's picking up a bit. Getting quite windy, so we've got the jacket on. I'm already seeing the Yugoslav merch, the merchandise, the Yugoslavian flag, Serbian flag. Looks like there's market stalls setting up here. Maybe see that over the next 2 days. This is a Friday when I'm recording this, so maybe they've got a market on a Saturday or a Sunday. So come back and check that out. I saw an interesting statistic. Apparently 95% of the world's strawberries were farmed here in Serbia. Want to be one of their main exports. Well, agriculture and farming, among other things. Iron ore, apparently, iron ore, machinery. They've got a up-and-coming IT sector as well. Quite exciting for the country. It's got like a public water fountain here. It's not be on, maybe on just during the summer months. So first up on the list of stops for today, we're going to walk through central Belgrade, and we're going to make our way over to the Museum of Yugoslavia. Now ordinarily that would be about, I think is about 15-20 minute drive, if that. I think it's probably a bit quicker. We passed it on the way here to the hotel last night. The taxi driver passed it, so we're going to head over in that direction, and we're actually going to walk there. Because if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I'm a big advocate for walking and about where you can, you know, where you can. Obviously, if you can't walk to a place in a city that you're visiting, then just take public transport, of course. But when you first arrived, I think that one of the best ways to see and experience the new place that you're visiting is by walking and just seeing what you come across, seeing what you stumble upon. And already I've only walked within a couple of blocks from my hotel, and I've already seen a few fascinating things, so I don't want to miss any of that. So yeah, we're going to walk over to the Museum of Yugoslavia and we're going to check it out. And the lady at the hotel said it's about €5 to get in. So yeah, it won't be too expensive. So I'm going to walk over there and check it out and learn a wee bit more about the former Yugoslavia, of which Belgrade was the capital city. I believe Josip Broz Tito, Marshal Tito, as he was called, of Yugoslavia, I believe that he had his main sort of base in Belgrade throughout his rule of the country. Yugoslavia went through many different forms, of course, from the end of the Second World War to the early 1990s. It was the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, and that comprised of 6 republics and 2 autonomous regions. And those were, well, present-day Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Macedonia, or as it's called today, North Macedonia, Serbia, and the two autonomous regions at the time within Yugoslavia, I believe, were Kosovo and, in the north of Serbia, a region called Vojvodina. And hopefully today we're going to learn a wee bit more about it, because I am in no way an expert about it, obviously. That's just very base, surface level things that I've picked up from some of my research over the years. So hopefully when we go there, we'll find out a wee bit more about Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia. And what's quite interesting is, apparently at the museum, they've also got the mausoleum for Tito. I think that's where he is. He's kept, well, I think that's where he's laying in rest, in a mausoleum, but we'll go and find out for sure. I think I read that online somewhere, so yeah, I think that's part of the museum. Don't know what his deal is. That's crazy. Looks kind of like Lotso from Toy Story. Maybe he's a mascot for some Serbian supermarket or cosmetics, or who knows. If you know, let me know in the comments. Now guys, we're coming up on the famous Hotel Moskva. Internationally renowned stopping point for celebrities, intellectuals, politicians, dignitaries, royalty over the years. I believe, here we are, I believe that some of the guests have included likes of Robert De Niro, Albert Einstein, Alfred Hitchcock, and countless other famous people over the years. I believe it was built in 1908 or the early 1900s by Serbian, well, for Serbian royalty, I believe. Still quite early. Well, early for the tourists anyway. Watch Road. It's just gone 9:40 AM. Like I say, it's very cold. Bloody hell, I'm glad I took a jacket. Because when I first came out of the hotel this morning, I had my short sleeves on. Being a typical Scotsman seeing the sun, wanted to make the most of it because we don't get it that often back home. Kind of jumped the gun a wee bit, came out with a t-shirt on, ready to lap up the rays, get a bit of a tan. But bloody hell, it's quite cold, quite chilly. Now that, guys, I just translated it with my Google Translate app, is a monument to the victims and the defenders of the homeland, 1990 to 1999, for Serbia and Belgrade, I guess. Quite a grand building. I'm not sure what this is. Very beautiful. A lot of buses, a lot of trams. But the one thing I've not seen yet is the trolley bus. And trolley buses are something that I've seen all over Europe, apart from back home in the UK. So I guess maybe, I don't know if the UK ever had trolley buses or what, but certainly I've seen them all over the place. Hungary, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia. I think I've seen them in Bosnia as well. So I'm yet to see them here in Serbia, but they've no doubt got them, I'm sure. So, noticed a lot of the signs, like a lot of the information signs on buildings and things like that are in Serbian, the Cyrillic alphabet, the alphabet system they use in Serbia being Cyrillic. And you know, I'm just glad I downloaded my Google Translate app, which is very handy. Because actually, to be honest with you, I know I'm just catching up. I sound like a caveman just discovering fire here. But I never realized you can, you know, hold the camera up to something and it'll translate it, so you don't have to type it in. So saves a bit of time. Handy to have. Don't know how I managed without it. A lot of the words here that I've picked up so far are very similar to some of the words that I was using and some of the words I learned in Bosnia. You know, you've got zdravo, and then you've got hvala, dobar dan, dobro jutro, doviđenja, doviđenja. Sorry guys, I'm probably butchering the language, but yeah, just a few words I picked up are very similar to when I was in Bosnia. So I think where we're walking now, this district is like where all the embassies are. I think we're just passing the German embassy, we passed the Italian one back there. So yeah, this must be the embassy district. I've already seen a few government looking buildings back there, so I guess it's the government district as well, so I better take care of filming here. I learned my lesson in Sarajevo. Hello. No photo. Okay, no problem. So, yeah, better watch filming around the embassies. Don't want to rile up the local cops. So Google Maps says we need to be on the other side of this sort of highway, motorway area, and I'm not going to chance it. I'm just not even going to think about crossing that. So luckily there is an underpass here, so let's follow this down into the depths of mystery as we go into the darkness here. This is exciting, guys. Tell me you don't enjoy this sort of stuff. You know, there's a bit of an excitement to not knowing where the hell you're going. Despite having Google Maps. Google Maps has led me astray a few times. I remember when I was going to the football stadium in Tallinn in Estonia, it took me down some dodgy sewer tunnel to get to the other side of a motorway. It wasn't even an underpass. I swear, guys, it's almost like a runoff, like a drainage sewer tunnel thing. Crazy. So hopefully, here we go. This is looking more promising. I think we're actually very close to the Museum of Yugoslavia, and as we edge ever closer, my appetite for learning history and learning the culture and learning about the past just gets even bigger and bigger. It grows and grows and grows. So hopefully the Museum of Yugoslavia lives up to the hype. I've heard good things. I've heard it's fascinating insight to the former Union of Nations over there, where those white cars just going up on the other side. That's where we want to be. Now we just have to figure out how the hell to get there. Maybe another underpass here. Yeah, I guess this looks a wee bit promising. Let's just go under here and hope for the best. I believe over the past sort of 25 years, 20 years, Belgrade, like this area of Belgrade's, and along the waterfront, a lot of money being pumped into that area, so I was told. Especially along the waterfront, you've got a lot of modern skyscrapers and buildings, and hope to see that at night time, because as I was coming in last night, seeing all these beautiful buildings lit up, different colors, white, red, blue, the Serbian national flag color. Let's continue. Here we go. Just check Google Maps, about 10 minutes away. Not too far to go. Gonna head through this ominous looking gate. This naturally overgrown park. Continue walking through. It's quite luscious and green actually where we are just now. What a nice park. Getting very chill vibes here. Very peaceful. I'm like the only one walking through this sprawling park. Beautiful lush bit of greenery right here in the centre of Belgrade, and with the sun coming out shining through the clouds, it's a nice pleasant spring morning here in Serbia. Quite brisk. I think I just checked on a map again, apologies for the pronunciation. I think this park is Hijad Park. Hijad. I'm not sure if Serbians pronounce the J or not, or if it's like a Y sound. So if there are any Serbians watching this, please educate me. There goes one of the free buses on the fantastic transit system here in Belgrade. Free to use for everybody and anybody apparently. We'll have to test that out. And these here are some of the sort of the high-rise residential areas over on the other side of the Sava River, I think it is. You've got the New Belgrade area, and that's where, like, you've got they're called blokovi, I believe that's how you pronounce it, like blocks and blocks of tall concrete residential tower blocks, and they're literally called block 44, block 77. They've got numbers. And I believe the case for that was Belgrade during the Second World War sustained heavy damage, and obviously after the Second World War people needed a place to stay, so these high concrete tower blocks, much like the UK post Second World War, high density housing were required, and they were fairly cheap to build, I think. And yeah, there's quite a lot of them on that side of the river, I believe, New Belgrade. So hopefully we can go and check that out at some point over the next few days. But here we are. I think we're coming up on the museum just now. A heap of tour buses here, and yeah, absolutely, I think this is it up the top here. Yeah, I see it. So that's up there. So we're gonna go in and check it out, and hopefully I'm not sure if I'll be allowed to film in it, but I'll try and get some cheeky snaps and pop them up, and we'll learn more about Yugoslavia. Catch up with you in a minute.